Hi guys, I'm here with an altered canvas that I made for my friend Sabrina, and this is a picture of her and her hubby from a while ago, and she sent it to me because I told her I wanted some photos that she really liked. She knew I was making something for her, and I figured it would be best to just ask for some photos she really liked and might want to see in a project. So she sent me one of her kids, and then she sent me this one, and I thought this was just really perfect for an altered canvas that she could put somewhere in her room or wherever. I used the paper collection, the Rondell paper collection, just small pieces of it really. Really the only pieces you can see are the mats for the photos, and they've been sprayed quite a bit, so you can't even really tell that it's the paper, but I was really going for that color, the same color theme, because that's what I used on her altered organizer that I made for her. So the first thing I did was I gessoed this canvas. It's just a regular canvas from Michael's, and I gessoed the whole thing, and I started by adding a lot of texture. And these are the masks that I've been using lately, or the stencils rather. They're just a Martha Stewart stencil, and they have these different patterns in them. And I got these just at Michael's with a coupon, and I was, you know, more than anything just wanted to try them out and see if they would work with the texture paste, and they did. And I really like the big circles that they have on here. So I used texture paste. Actually, what did I use? I think I used, sorry guys, knocked the camera. I used modeling paste this time, and I honestly can't even tell you what the difference is except the name. The texture paste and the modeling paste, to me, it feels like it does the same thing. The modeling paste almost seems a bit stiffer, but really they both do the same thing. That just happened to be what I picked up this time. So anyway, so I used that to add texture over the whole canvas. I used some different Tattered Angel sprays that I have, a couple of pinks. I think I used Cherub Pink and Cadillac Pink, and then I used Sand Color, which is just a really light brown, and that added a lot of color and shimmer to the background of this. So that's how I started. The next thing I wanted to do is make it look like a collage of just, you know, a lot of paper layering. So I used the Tim Holtz tissue paper, this stuff, and I used some more of those little ephemera sheets that look like this from the, let me find the packaging. Nope, don't have it here. It's the, you know, the industrial sheet, the metal collection at Michael's. Well, if you look below the metals and you look on the very bottom row, they have a couple of paper packs that have these little, you know, like ephemera sheets. So I thought those were really neat, and I bought a couple of those, and that's where this paper and stuff comes from. So to do that, all I did was I just ripped up, you know, I took this and I would rip, you know, pieces off. And a lot of the leftover sprays that are here, when I was spraying the canvas, I had a lot of leftover spray on my mat, and I just took all my ephemera sheets or tissue paper sheets and rubbed them in the colors, and then dried them. And that's how they have, if you can see, that's how they are all just tinted different colors. I didn't spray them particularly, I just used them to soak up all the leftover spray that was on my mat, and it, you know, worked out pretty well. So that's how I got all the colors on here. And when I sprayed, I just sprayed like the sand, then one of the pinks, then another pink, then more sand, then another pink, and I let them just kind of run together. And that's how I got just that mottled look. And it turned out the way I wanted it, so I was happy. I went over it too. I dry brushed it with just a little bit of white paint to give it just a little bit of definition on some of the textured areas. So that's how I got that effect. After I had the base down, I glued her photo down, and I glued just a couple of pieces of bling from Want to Scrap, and then I just started adhering all of the elements. Whenever I put together a canvas or a layout, I get all of the things I want to use, and I set them kind of in a big pile on my workspace, and I pick and choose from those things to put on here. I like to have all my accessories in front of me to choose from, like a little buffet. So I have some wild orchid craft flowers. That's what most of these are wild orchid craft flowers. I also have just a couple of little white roses that I had in my shop that I glued on there. These pearls are actually ones that Sabrina had given me, and so I just glued some randomly over. I know she likes to do her, you know, her pretty mess look, and I thought this would match if she, you know, wanted to put it in her room or something. It would match probably the decor she already has, because it, you know, is her her pearls everywhere. I also laid some pearl strand around, and this pearl strand she had actually given me as well in our twilight swap, so, and the color matched perfectly, so that I just glued in different places. This is a charm that I had, and I used, let me see if I can get it. I used this embossing enamel, and I actually got this probably about 1.5 years ago and never used it until about a month ago when I was making something for Miranda, and I love it. It's an embossing powder, but it's got gold, white, and pink, and it's supposed to be like a really, I guess like a shabby embossing enamel is what it's called. So I really, I like the way that turned out, and I just used it on that charm, so you can't really tell what was on there. It was like a little angel or something, but I just thought it was cute. I forgot to mention, one of the things you might see on the canvas, which I don't think the camera will really pick it up, but in different places you might see like little flecks. Let me... Okay. Another thing is, let me get my camera straightened. I knocked it out of whack there. Another thing you might see is just different little flecks of color. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not, but what I did was I heated the area with the heat gun. I sprinkled just a little bit of this stuff on there, and then I heat set it. And I heated it first, that way it would stick to the canvas, because if not, then it would have just kind of blew all over the place. So anyway, this is how it turned out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I needed to explain from this. I don't think so, because after all that, I just kind of glued down some flowers, a little Melissa Francis key, a stick pin that I made using some pearls she gave me, excuse me, a key, a gear, a little watch part, all just different little metal pieces and flowers just kind of tucked in there. And then the last thing I did was I just put that rhinestone mesh. This is from the rack that Heidi just gave me. Thank you, Heidi. This is the rhinestone mesh, and I just glued it all around because Sabrina has done this for me on a couple of my projects. Put the, sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my camera. She's put it around a couple of my projects, and I love the way it looks, so I just put it around the edge of her frame. So anyway, this is going to Sabrina. I really hope that she likes it, and thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, please comment below. Thanks, guys. Bye.